Hello, everyone, and welcome to episode 25 from Creative Collaborations Conversations with Veronica and Jillian. Hello. Hello, Jillian.
Hello, Veronica. How are you?
Besides freezing, I'm very good.
I know. Me too. I have my big bulky scarf on because it is cold. So today we're going to talk about, I guess, as a continuation or a logical next conversation following our previous episode, number 24, which was all about events and how to think about events, how to select events, and how to quantify events as well. So today we're going to talk about a really valuable event, what I would describe as, in my experience, as an event community and platform called Online Networking with a Spin, which is, I want to say your baby, but then I feel like Bruno might contest that. So I feel like ONS is one of your babies. Yeah. ONS is one of your babies. So I thought we could chat a little bit about online networking with a spin today. So if you are up for that chat,
maybe you could start off my water and my tea.
All right, perfect.
So ready for that.
So maybe start off just talking about what is ONS, more or less.
It's a networking event. Actually, maybe it will make sense if I go a little bit in time and tell the story of how online networking with a spin was launched.
Please.
So we all know when in 2020 COVID hit us and we were stuck in the house and everything stopped and we were like, what is happening here?
Yes.
So at that point, I was actually part of the Amsterdam American Business Club, part of the board, in charge of the marketing. And we used to organize monthly events. And of course, everything stopped and we were trying what to do. Shall we move them online? Not to do that. And I was actually pitching this idea. How about we are just meeting and we put people in different rooms and we network? And I kept on pitching. We do, Amsterdam American Business Club has a chair for marketing that I was at that point in charge, but also one for events that somebody else was in charge. And me pitching the idea didn't really stick. Like people weren't so responsive. And one day I said, okay, you know what? Actually, I don't need the AABC to create this. I can do it. Because that was actually my response to the pandemic. I don't believe that, let me rephrase it. I believe there's a solution for each problem. And that was my solution and my response to the pandemic. And one day I just opened Canva and I started playing with a very horrible design. That was at that point. Yeah. I'm not a Canva person. I'm sorry. I'm not a designer. I'm the idea girl or woman. So I created something, and then I think at that point I didn't even had MailerLite, or did I use already MailerLite? Just created a landing page, promoting the idea of how about we meet for 1 hour, we go into breakout rooms and we chat. And this is what I did. I invited people from my network. And the first event was somewhere, I actually don't remember the month, but was online with 16 people. I still remember that. And we just played. 16, 16.
Yeah, but 16 people for your first one out of the gate is really good.
I had no idea. It was just like, let's meet and network. Like the fact that we are stuck in the house, that doesn't mean we can't run our business. We can't actually be curious, meet new people. And I just invited people that I knew and try to put them in breakout rooms with other people that they don't know, because that was the whole idea. What would be the point to put them in a room with someone that they already know? I apologize for my voice, but it's the season of losing voices and getting colds and whatnot, right? So
it is.
I'm going with the flow here.
Yes.
So that was actually the first edition. And then my invitation, what I was actually doing, following up with an email, connecting people. Being 16 people, it's quite easy to put them in an email with the LinkedIn and to send it. It is work, but it's not that much work, right? It's doable. And I did that. I did that for at least 2 years. But in these 2 years, from 16 people, we ended up with 50 people. And I had to adapt, because me being alone there, trying to, it's one thing where you're facilitating and you have 16 people and say, just give me a second, I'm placing you guys in rooms, and I'm trying to do my best to put people that don't know each other or haven't spoke with each other in rooms. But when you have 50 and you have people that you have not met yet, it becomes a challenge. So it's not overnight, but was a growth, right? So what I started introducing actually was not speakers, because you're not going to have a speaker, but you're going to have experts providing tips. And I was very keen on that, because what I needed was 3 to 5 minutes while I do the tech side, putting people in rooms, someone to maintain the energy, to keep the people engaged, to give them something to do, not to look at the screen and be awkward. So this was very practical how the expert came into the
equation, into the show.
Thank you. Into the show. Thank you. So I was still doing that, still trying to put everyone in the right room, and also sending that email with everyone to be able to connect. At that specific point, I just collapsed. It was way too much. And I was thinking, what can I do around this? How can I make it easier? And what can I do? And this is how the spin community actually took place. I already had the base community because of the conference, and I was, how about we create the spin community in parallel with that one? And instead of me trying to figure it out the LinkedIn, because it became too much, honestly, I was like, how about all of you connect with each other and you continue the conversation in the community? Or maybe you didn't have the chance to chat. You go to the community and you move afterwards to have a private chat. So that was the evolution. And we kind of did that until, we are still doing it, but we kept on changing. But somewhere beginning of next year, you start having that fatigue of doing things the same way. And also people had the fatigue of being online, and we're like, we need to reinvent. Why are we doing it? Because the purpose of why ONS was created, it kind of disappeared, right? The pandemic stopped, or even if COVID still exists, but it's a normal part of our lives. It doesn't keeps us in the house. So the face-to-face events are taking place, and everyone prefers those, or they prefer a combination. That's the reality at this point. And everyone was asking me, how about you're moving the ONS from online to face-to-face? And I was like, oh, that could work. And then I realized, looking at the data, your favorite topic, that my audience is so diverse. So I have people from the States that I'm so grateful for them to wake up at 6 o'clock in the morning just to be part of a networking event. From India, from Germany, from France, from Belgium. So it's so diverse that it's impossible to do it. So the online networking with the spin will always be an online network because of the diversity. And that's the beauty of it. You are meeting people that otherwise you wouldn't meet. We continue the conversation in the community, but we are switching, because I realized, instead of putting all the pressure on me to move people, how about I let them choose? So what we do now, actually, we do have the experts, and we are working now on the planning for the entire year in terms of topics. But we are creating different rooms based on the topic. Let people choose what is interesting for them, what do they want, who they want to speak with, and then it's
that's great.
That's it, like giving them the power back.
Yeah, that's great. That's a lot of value in that.
Yes, we are working. We keep on working, and it's very interesting to see what people are choosing, actually.
I bet. Talk about yeah, like you said, the data, you can get some great data from that to find out not only about the, career kind of title, occupation, not only the location, but the specific content that people are interested in. That's really great to have that kind of
But it's
trifecta.
interesting, the location has no impact. They don't really care. It's about they want to connect, they want to strike partnerships, they want to learn about, like we had AI, that's a hot topic, how to apply AI, how to create strategies. Like these are the topics they want to learn. Location in our days, it doesn't really matter.
It doesn't matter. But what I was trying to say is, for you as the organizer to have that data, to be able to see where your people are coming from. But certainly the content is applicable everywhere. But for you to know not only who the people are, like I said, what industry they're in, or if they're a founder or worker, contributor, or whatever, but where are they? But now to know what content as well. So it's really great. So we talk a little bit about who, because now you have the ONS 2.0 that we also talked about in episode 11. But right now, moving in, we're in January 2024. So for people that maybe have not ever joined an ONS previously, can you talk a little bit about who it's for?
Excuse me. I used to say it's for entrepreneurs. And it is for entrepreneurs, but it's much more than that. It's for CEOs, for professionals. We used to have only like business starters. They were in business, but they were very small. Now we do see more agencies or smaller companies coming and sharing and being curious. So
so
more
why
serious
are people
companies
attending?
are actually coming. Networking, connections, strategic partnerships. Actually, business is conducted out of it. Podcasts were launched out of it because of the connections, like getting clients. And that's the whole idea about it. Be curious, come and join, come and learn, come and share, give back to the community and take. That's the whole purpose of it.
I can give you a brief kind of testimonial about attending ONS, because I attended one, and through that, let me think. So through that, I ended up developing a relationship with a woman that ended up working with me for quite a while, and she was fantastic. And then through somebody else, I got an introduction to another woman who then interviewed me on her podcast. So that happened. And through that same woman who introduced to the podcast, I ended up bringing her into a client situation, and she got a nice chunk of business out of it. So that was like kind of a full circle thing. And then through somebody else I met at ONS one time, I really liked him, and we connected on LinkedIn and just kind of followed him. I liked his content. He seemed pretty great. And then one day he hosted an event that I was able to physically attend. So I went and attended his workshop, which was great. That was Ryan Miller. It was really great. And then he ended up speaking at the Women in Tech conference. And so he then, got me to that event as well. So many things personally that happened in my life and my business were all a direct result of attending. I think it was just a couple ONS sessions. I don't know, we call them events, ONS events. So I would say ONS has been very productive for me in terms of the amount of time I spent and the output. So that's my testimonial, my plug for you. Yeah.
No, there are a lot, and it's a great community, and I do like the fact that I see new energy, new people coming, because that actually it's opening doors. And yeah, you'll see. I always say you have like the veterans. I like to call them the ones that keep on coming, and then you have the once in a while people that are coming, and then you have the new ones that could go in either category, depending on the time or how they feel. But what I love is the fact that if somebody comes purely to sell and not build connections, because that's the whole thing, you are here to build a connection, to be curious. The community is actually setting the tone and the boundaries. Excuse me. and they're actually protecting the values.
That's great. That's key to have that. I feel like that's a degree of maturity when that happens within an organization. That's a really good sign. So kudos to you for having that take hold.
Thank you.
So the last part I would love for you to talk a little bit about, and this will come as a huge shock probably, but I'm curious about I want to say the relationship between ONS and your business. So I could frame it as like, was there a business case for it? But I feel like I want to skip all that and just kind of ask it in a more open-ended fashion. So what is the relationship between ONS and your business with Spin Ideas?
Well, that's a good question.
And, are they siblings, or are they like, or I guess like step siblings, or are they overlapped, or is one like for the top of the funnel, or is it for like nurturing relationships, or all of the above? Or
well, we are in process of redefining that, because honestly it was just launched. I didn't had any business. Wasn't You can see it as an NGO actually. When I launched it was just a response, no business
service.
attached to it. Was a service,
sure,
a service to my
like
community.
a passion project. It seems
was
like
a passion. It was pretty much a passion project. But again, after the pandemic was the moment where I do invest quite a lot of money and energy in it, and I do need to see how do I integrate it into the rest of the things. Basically what I'm preaching to my clients, how do I make it an omnichannel? How does this fit into everything that I do? So at this point, actually, we are in process, as said, to create the planning for the entire year. And we are looking for sponsors, actually. So if there are any organizations targeting this particular audience that they want to sponsor us, have a call with me. This is very new, actually. So we are looking into that. That being said, they will not dictate the agenda. They will not dictate the type of connections or how things are going. We are very protective of that. But we're going to provide visibility towards the community for them. So it will be everything that we do will have the community and the best interest of the community in first place. We're not going to renounce our values or quality for that. But we are in process of launching a marketing accelerator that could serve this community and different other services to help them. So it is a place for people to connect and to get value, but we'll start introducing what we are doing here as well. I realized actually a lot of people, they don't know that what I do is actually marketing. They think I do events. So I do want to change a little bit the discussion.
That's fair. So for folks who are listening and are interested in checking it out, where can they learn more about ONS, or possibly even register to attend a future monthly event?
Very simple, spinideas.nl. Just go to our website and you'll see there in the middle the online networking events. Okay.
So right on your homepage of your website?
Yes.
Perfect.
You can, it's a specific page, but from the homepage, it's easy to get there.
Okay, great. So any last thoughts, anything about ONS that we didn't get to that you want to, or do you feel like it was so comprehensive? Because what a smooth job I did interviewing you.
You did a great job. I think it's, you need to experience it to understand it. Just come, be curious. If you don't like it, worst case scenario, you spend 50 minutes or you stay the entire hour and you meet some interesting people. So nothing to lose.
Yeah, I applaud you for building this. I think I respect so much your initial kind of motivator, and to get it up and running and the service that it did provide, but continuing to work at it and to focus enough to create the 2.0 version. So I applaud you for putting it together and sticking with it. So kudos.
Yeah.
And with that, check out ONS if you haven't already. So that's what we have for episode 25. Yeah. All right.
Thank
Cheers,
you.
everyone. See ya
See you. Bye.
next time.